NFL analyst Steve Smith does not think Antonio Brown would be a good fit for the Baltimore Ravens and that the team needs to give Lamar Jackson more support to boost the passing attack.
Smith, who played 3 seasons in Baltimore, made his comments on the Inside Access with Jason LaCanfora and Ken Weinman on 105.7. Smith liked the 2 receivers the Ravens picked up in the 2020 NFL Draft, Devin DuVernay and James Proche, but he questioned how much work they will get in the team's run-oriented offense.
I love the picks, but you know I'm a wide receiver, and my question is always going to be how is this passing game going to develop? Smith said on the show. I hate to say it this way, but as a wide receiver, I love to block. But I didn't wake up trying to block and run 70 plays a game and 68 of the 70 are run plays. Then when the contract season comes up, you have leverage because my numbers aren't up.
The Ravens broke the single-season NFL rushing record with 3,296 yards and became the first team in NFL history to average 206.0 rushing yards and 201.6 net passing yards per game last season. Smith could not understand why they got away from that game plan in a 28-12 loss to the Tennessee Titans in the divisional round of the AFC playoffs. Baltimore ran the ball just 29 times and Jackson completed 31 of 59 pass attempts for 365 yards with a touchdown and 2 interceptions, 28.7 passer rating.
Smith questioned the Ravens' overall confidence with their style of play.
What the Baltimore Ravens have done all year is run the ball efficiently, play keep away, hold the ball, make opposing offenses reach and do things outside of themselves because they hold the ball so long, Smith said. Then they go into a playoff game and do the total opposite of what got them there. Here's the interesting part, by doing that, what did you do? You show people that you're not ready to be that?
Smith said the social distancing restrictions with the coronavirus will hamper every NFL's team ability to effectively prepare for the season. The Ravens' young receivers could be especially challenged to adapt to the speed and physicality of the NFL.
COVID-19 has now hampered everyone from working on their game, Smith said. You can be out there practicing with guys, but you can never simulate a guy going against another defensive back, full speed and there's a roaring crowd and your adrenaline is pumping. That can never be simulated. No virtual, Zoom call or air-conditioned room could ever simulate that. You have to learn and do that by good, old-fashioned hard work, hand-to-hand combat and on-the-job experience.
And they haven't gotten that yet, and it's not because of them or lack thereof, but what kind of passing game will it be with these wide receivers? And how effective will they be because they haven't had the chance to practice with each other because of social distancing?
Smith is confident that Jackson can continue to get better as a pocket passer. Last season, he completed 265 of 401 passes for 3,127 yards and an NFL-high 36 touchdowns, which was also a franchise record. Smith said the Ravens also need to get the wide receivers more involved with the overall offense.
I hope it evolves, but if it doesn't it's not because Lamar can't do it, Smith said. It's not that he can't, it's more of in this offense that emphasizes so much of the run game that they have to start carving up sometimes just to have the trial and error of the passing game that they don't really utilize a lot with the wide receivers.
Mark Andrews, baller. He's doing a great job, but the problem is a lot of times he has his hand in the ground. He's not a wide receiver. He's a dangerous tight end, but you can neutralize a tight end if you put enough people around him. You can do little things schematically to neutralize a tight end. But if you do it right, a wide receiver can thrive but you have to practice it. You have a young quarterback and young wide receivers who are all learning as they grow together.
Jackson created a buzz when video surfaced of him throwing passes to Antonio Brown in Florida. The exchange also created speculation the Ravens might be looking to sign the mercurial wide receiver.
Baltimore general manager Eric DeCosta was asked during a pre-draft press conference whether the Ravens might be interested in Brown and he was non-committal, which has added to the intrigue.
Smith does not think it would be a good idea for the Ravens to sign Brown.
I don't agree with bringing him in based on that locker room, Smith said. I was in that locker room. I was a Raven, once a Raven, always a Ravens, and I know the expectation that Mr. Biscotti wants, and I've been around that locker room when expectations have been lowered and what they have to do to make those adjustments. And I don't believe that it would be in the best interest of the Baltimore Ravens, not based on my personal opinion, but the data that is out there, that it's a good move.
Prior to last season, Smith spent some time working with then-rookie receiver Miles Boykin. Smith is confident Boykin has the skills to be an effective player, but he needed to do a better job lowering his 6'4", 220-pound frame.
Smith lauded Ravens tight ends coach Bobby Engram, who was a receivers coach when he was with the team. He hopes the young receivers can get that type of effective coaching.
Bobby Engram used to be my wide receivers coach down there and he moved to tight ends, Smith said. What's the best part of that team? The tight ends. I love the organization, but sometimes there's some folks who are in over their skis. So, that's why I stepped in, with Boykin, because it's a fraternity and it's brothers amongst brothers and we have to help them. I believe the brother needed help. A couple weeks later he scored a touchdown.